What's going on, Guardians? BriarRabbit here. This is the Week in Review, the series where I talk about my week in Destiny, and this is a huge week. Now, for me personally, it's been an amazing week of Destiny. In fact, 2 weeks, because I did not update the series last week because I was so sick I couldn't even get out of bed. So I usually do this series on Monday, right before the weekly reset. That's what I'm doing today. And last Monday, man, I was out for the count. So basically, we've got 2 weeks of progress to go over today, and that's really exciting because I got some awesome, amazing loot. But I'm also really excited because I just recently joined the Planet Destiny team, and that has been an amazing experience so far. I've only put up 2 videos over there, but the response has been awesome. I'm really excited to be part of the team. I've played with a couple of the guys over there. They're really friendly. We had a ton of fun. I'm just beside myself with joy about my whole Destiny experience right now. So let's get into the loot, because the loot has been amazing. First of all, the first thing you're going to notice right off the bat is this number right here. I finally hit level 32 on my Hunter, and I am psyched. I didn't know if it was going to happen this week. It did, and just barely. Like, I was just a single shard away from being able to upgrade all of my Vault of Glass, my raid gear from Crota's End, and it's been amazing. So I can do this now with either my Mask of the Third Man or my Achlyophage Symbiote, and I'm pretty happy with my stat rolls as well, especially with Mask of the Third Man, which is primarily what I use for Crota's End, because being able to go invisible is so important. I find that the Blade Dancer is just the way to go for most of Crota's End. And I'm really psyched about the stat rolls. Intellect is super high. I think that's super important. I would have liked to get my discipline a little bit higher because I don't think that strength really comes into play too often. So if I could have maxed discipline over strength, I would have been happier. But I really like how high my intellect is with this stat roll. I still don't have the raid helm, so I'm looking forward to getting that. Once I can get that, I'm going to be even happier because I'll be using Don't Touch Me in a lot of the raid. And I find Don't Touch Me to be an amazing set of gauntlets for the Crota's End raid. So I'm really, really looking forward to getting the helmet and upgrading that so I can be level 32 with my Don't Touch Me gauntlets. But I can't wait for Tuesday. I can't wait for the raid. I can't wait to be the sword bearer and be doing extra damage on Crota tomorrow. Like, this was a really exciting thing to finally hit the level cap on my Hunter. I'm really excited that the Hunter is also so valuable inside Crota's End compared to how he was just a little bit squishy for Vault of Glass. So it's been great. Let's talk about some of the other gear. Obviously, you're seeing the Fall Will Probably Kill You 1969. I finally purchased this from the Crucible vendor. I haven't fully upgraded it yet. Once I've got this all the way upgraded, you can expect a full review of this hand cannon on Planet Destiny. Right now, I'm feeling pretty good about this hand cannon. As far as what's available for purchase in the tower right now, as far as hand cannons go, I'm really digging this one. It does super high impact. The range and the stability are a little bit mediocre. The fire rate is a little bit slow, but fire rate on a hand cannon doesn't really bother me that much because with that high impact, as long as you're accurate with your shots, which it takes a little more time to aim in for those headshots, the fire rate doesn't come into play that much for me. I played around with this a little bit in the Crucible. It's been very effective for me in the Crucible, and I really like it for PvE content as well. And it comes with, decent things, not great things. Return to Sender isn't too bad. Mulligan isn't too bad. It does have Field Scout, so you can bump that magazine size up to 13 rounds. I've been sticking with Flared Magwell. Keeping the magazine size around 10 and just being able to reload a little bit faster has been working for me. Another hand cannon I got this week is Fatebringer, and I gotta say, I have been trying to get Fatebringer forever. This is one of the weapons that really appealed to me right off the bat when I saw like the full list of Vault of Glass raid gear. I was psyched about it. So comparing that to the Fall Will Probably Kill You, you can see that the impact is super high on Fatebringer. The rate of fire is about the same, and the range, stability, and reload speed are a little bit different depending on what you're looking for. But what Fatebringer brings to the table is Firefly. You can see Firefly in the Crota's End raid, especially in the opening kind of pit area. It does so much for you. It is absolutely a monster. Now, I do have explosive rounds turned off because the way the explosive rounds works is it basically splits up your damage. So if you need a headshot, you need to get a precision kill to make Firefly work. And if you split up the damage, half in the precision kill or half in a precision shot to the head and half goes to explosive rounds, it lowers the chance of Firefly actually happening. So I've taken off the explosive rounds and I've been very, very happy with the way this hand cannon performs in the Crota's End raid. So much so that it's really become my favorite primary in the game at this point. All right, so what else did I get? It's just been a hell of a week. I upgraded to Eidolon Ollie. Husk of the Pit finally, for me, got upgraded. It's been a real grind with Eris. I'm finally at level 3. I'm still grinding for level 4. But, I'm in no real hurry. When the hard mode raid comes out, I'm definitely going to want to get that Crux of Crota to upgrade this to an exotic weapon. But that low impact, high rate of fire just does nothing for me on an auto rifle. So as you can see, I've hardly used it at all. I may start upgrading it slowly just so that once the hard mode raid comes out, I'm ready to go when I get the Crux of Crota drop. But, Eidolon Ollie just does not do much for me. All right, what else we got here? We got the Devil You Don't. So I got this as a random drop, and as we all know, the Devil You Don't was very disappointing after having the Devil You Know be so important to so many people. It was pretty much the best legendary hand cannon you could buy in the tower. And then the Devil You Don't, a lot of people got excited because we thought that was going to be just as good, but it wasn't. And one of the reasons for that is it really had a low magazine size. But I got this one to drop, and it has Field Scout on it, which is nice. I'm still finding that I really don't like it as much as the Fall Will Probably Kill You because it's got lower impact and a higher fire rate, which again, it's like almost across the board. I always prefer high impact, especially for hand cannons. So Devil You Don't, even with Field Scout, I'm not super digging it. As you can see, I also got No Land Beyond. I actually bought this from Xur, and then that day went into the raid and got it to drop again in the raid. So I actually got 2 No Land Beyonds. I was a little bit disappointed by that. I'd much rather get Hawkmoon. But hey, first world problems, big time. I really haven't used this much. It's really just not a good weapon. It looks so cool. I'd love for Bungie to somehow buff this to make it a really viable weapon in either the Crucible or in PvE. I don't really care because it's so cool looking. I just want it to be good, but it's just not. All right, what else do we have here? I finally got my Murmur fully upgraded by hitting level 3 with Eris, and this thing is awesome. This is a really great weapon inside of Crota's End. I've had a lot of success with this. Basically, I use it for the whole first part, the pit part with the lanterns of the Crota's End raid, and then at that point, I'll switch over to a sniper rifle for the rest of the raid. And I think that is about all that we're gonna see here. Oh, we also have the 4th Horseman. This was a cool drop. As you can see, I really haven't used it much. I've got so much new gear that I just haven't had time to level it all up. But again, this is a super, super cool looking weapon. Some people are really enjoying it. Other people say it's not so good. So I'm looking forward to leveling this thing up, giving you guys my own personal opinion. But I can't wait. It just looks so cool with the 4 barrels and kind of that scroll work on the side. It's like a combination of like real old school and new. It's a cool looking weapon. So I want to run over to the vault because I've got a couple of more things I'd like to show you guys. I finally got Invective. So this is something that just eluded me for the longest time. I could not get the bounty for this to drop. I finally got the bounty for it. As you can see, I have not started leveling it up for the same reason. I just haven't had time yet, but I'm really excited about this. I'm looking forward to getting it leveled up. I'd like to bring it into the Iron Banner next week, so I'm going to try and level this thing up pretty quickly. We'll see if I'm able to do that in time, but I was excited to get a new exotic weapon, and Invective is a very popular one in the Crucible, so I'm definitely going to be looking to upgrade this thing very quickly. Also picked up Badger CCL. And I have not had a lot of time to play with this one yet either, but it's got a really interesting Firefly perk on it. It's got really high impact, So I'm thinking this weapon is actually going to be really good. Now, I have a personal problem with scout rifles, okay? And, you know, it's just a me thing, is that the amount of times you have to hit the trigger when playing with a scout rifle, it just tires my trigger finger out. I don't have the problem with hand cannons because the amount of damage they do is a little bit more, so you actually have to fire less. But with scout rifles, I don't know, my trigger finger just gets tired out after using them for like a couple of hours. So with like something like the Vision of Confluence that had auto fire, that was never an issue, but we'll see if I actually stick with this Badger CCL. I think I'm going to like it, especially with Firefly and that high impact rating. But it's going to have to do a lot of damage for me to really stick with it. Otherwise, my trigger finger will just get tired out. What else we got here? I think that is about it. I did finally pick up Pray This Timepiece, which is a nice thing, especially when the Nightfall Strike is doing arc damage, but because I already got the Fatebringer, I already have a primary that does arc damage, and frankly, I really do prefer hand cannons over pulse rifles. I think pulse rifles just are in a bad place in Destiny right now. I'd love to see Bungie find a way to fix that, to make pulse rifles really a viable option in Destiny, but for me, they just aren't, like, at all. They're hard to get consistent headshots with all 3 rounds in your shot pattern, and that makes them really difficult to use effectively. I'll probably upgrade this a little bit. It's cool that it's got Field Scout and a magazine size that's already 30. I wonder how high that's going to get. Perfect balance, that could really help it out. That's going to give it really high stability. So I'll probably upgrade this just to see what it's like, but at this point, the highest I can get this is to a 300 attack. I think it might have been just too little too late for Pray This Timepiece for me. I did finally get the Black Hammer, so I'm really loving the Black Hammer. I don't have it fully upgraded. If you don't know, don't pick up this Hive Disruptor perk. It messes up the White Nail perk over here. Almost got this thing fully upgraded. Actually, it looks like I can fully upgrade it now. I've got enough radiant energy to do that, so I'll probably finish that off. But I do want to be a little bit careful with my radiant energy. I don't know exactly when the hard mode raid is going to come out, and once it does, once we start getting primary weapon raid drops, I'm going to want to have that radiant energy ready to go. And for me, the Black Hammer is a little bit too situational for me to carry with me all the time. Compared to something like Aphrodite Spear or Icebreaker, I don't know, it just feels really situational to me. So that's it. That is the week in review for my Destiny character, and it's been an awesome week. It's been an awesome week for my character. It's been an awesome week for me personally. I couldn't be more excited. I can't wait till raid night tomorrow night. So Tuesday is my raid night, and I cannot wait to get going. I can't wait to be doing that extra damage on Crota with level 32 light level. This is going to be fun. It's going to be a really good week next week. So thanks for watching, guys. Hit that like button if you liked the video. Hit subscribe if you're new to the channel. Come on over and check out planetdestiny.com if you haven't already done so. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.